To take two of Only Dad's network podcast here. We're at Soberish Mocktail shop in Halifax, Nova Scotia. We have Jay here. And we had some technical difficulties because, as you can see, Devin's not here. So we decided to do a full run and me not really record it properly. So we're back for take two. So we got Jay here, and as you can see, we've already made these beautiful drinks. So we're gonna show you in a little bit how this is done through the mixology of mocktails. So it's a growing industry here, not just in the worldwide, but definitely in Halifax. This is the first sober bar in
Eastern Canada.
Which is pretty cool. I coach university soccer. It's definitely a growing thing because back in my day, we were always looking forward to having some beers or drinks on the bus ride home, getting ready, going right out to those local establishments downtown. But now when we are coaching, it's more like Catan and mocktails.
Yeah.
So, which is still cool. I love it. But again, it's definitely an adapting industry, and
this is different.
Yeah, and as we talked in the previous podcast you guys missed out on, which was pretty cool, about different flavors of like the rums, the gins, the tequilas, and what's happening, and how there's some of the big players, Tanqueray, all the way down to local Nova Scotia spirits, Raging Crow being the first one in Nova Scotia making a non-alcoholic zero-proof rum. And for myself, I'm a big dark and stormy fan. I do like old fashions as well. And when I did go out and buy them, just blindsided, I went home, I do my usual thing, and I was like, yeah, no, not the same. But like you said, as we're discussing, there's just more than just what you would put in your traditional dark and stormy. There's different layers of depth that you definitely have to add, and that's why we're here. So first off, again, this is Jay, owner here. Just tell us a little bit about the shop, what you do, and why this sort of industry going on.
Yeah, we started several years ago with the Nor'easter apparel clothing line. You guys can't see that, it's on the other wall of the shop. And then when that grew to a point when I felt like we needed a brick and mortar store, that's when things really started shifting gears. And so our first store opened in Chester, which is a lot bigger than this. It was also coming out of the pandemic. So we did a lot of outdoor pop-up markets, but then I wanted a way to support some of those amazing local products that we were having come through our markets, as well as a retail space for my own product lines. And then I'm always looking for ways to differentiate us from local competition. And I was seeing a lot of rise and on social media and development of non-alcoholic products. I said, okay, well, let's give that a try. Let's see what's happening. So we brought in some canned, ready-to-drink options, and they did really well in a rural setting in Nova Scotia. So that was promising. So we started accumulating more. And then as we got closer to opening Halifax, it was going to be originally an espresso bar inside my t-shirt shop.
Yeah.
And then I said, screw that. We're going to blow the lid off non-alc. And I want to be the first. And I want to have the largest inventory selection available. And so here we are. I said, if it doesn't work, we'll just pivot. We'll do something else because we own the space. So
exactly, right? So
because people often, like, Halifax is a drinking city traditionally. And so people like, you swam against the currents, and they're like, what was that like? Were you afraid? And I honestly didn't know how it was going to go. I thought that the market would be ready, but I was blown away by how many people, when we opened their doors, were coming in saying, we've been waiting.
People have been waiting. It's true. And there's a local artist here, Quake Matthews, was just actually on a podcast, and he was talking about going away and traveling and being like the stigma, like, oh, you're from the East Coast, like, and even when I do my travel, it's like, well, let's go have, like, it's like, all right, yeah, we are from the East Coast. It is our, I guess, our thing, right? But again, with the growing industry, and people just wanting to become the best version of themselves. It's sometimes we're not trying to promote or tell anyone, hey, go straight sober, anything like that. It's how can you start introducing some of these flavors or drinks into your everyday social or evening versus picking up that bottle of rum but still have that same sort of expectation or deliverance, I guess, because there's other stuff up here that we'll touch on in a little bit, the adaptogens
Yes.
and stuff, which will still give that same sort of stimulants without having all that negative hangover, sugars,
Headaches.
Headaches.
Brain fog.
Yeah. People go, oh.
Yeah. No, it's funny. Like, I was thinking just as you were talking, like, alcohol has for a long time been like it's just an intricate part of how people socialize here.
Yeah.
And we were talking in the first take about how
we have to make fun of it, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, technology, I love it. Yeah, thanks, Dev.
When people decide to give up alcohol, they miss the social aspect that comes with that. And so opening the non-alcoholic bar, like it's part of trying to give that socialization, the ritual, the connecting, the sharing that happens over a drink classically, but without the alcohol. People say, oh, I've had lots of canned drinks, but I miss having a craft cocktail made for me. And so that's where our bar really excels, I think, if I can say that. We've got the largest selection of non-alcoholic products to work with, whereas a lot of times a restaurant or bar will just bring in one gin or one rum option, but we've got scotches, we've got tequilas, mezcal, whiskey, bourbons, limoncello, and Aperol, coffee liqueurs, Amaros from Italy. So there's a lot that you can start working with, and you can really build layers of flavor into your drinks. And so for us, it's fun to... You have to think outside the box. We're saying it doesn't translate. When you try to mix the dark and stormy, you can't do it one for one because the products just are so different.
Yeah.
So we've come up with a few tips and tricks from our experimentation processes to help simulate some of those mouthfeels and flavors of alcohol, but to trick the senses, like adding extra like hot pepper bitters, some heat to mimic that alcohol burn that's no longer there. And then some other ingredients that I'll get into when we start making this first drink.
Yeah, no, you're right. And even like last week when I came by here, I tried the tequila.
Yeah.
And they put the chili in there to hit the back of the throat. So it's like you are used to that.
It's like it's kind of like a shot.
It's there, right? So, as we discussed too, you have your own mocktail book.
Yes,
which
our
is
own
pretty
book
cool.
of recipes.
So again, you want to talk a little bit
before
we deep dive into
Absolutely.
remaking some of these beautiful drinks?
After we created our first bar menu for last summer, we had enough drinks to compile into a book, and so this is really fun because customers will come in and they'll buy it as a gift, but then they'll pick up a couple ingredients to build one of the drinks in there for a friend. So it gives them a starting point and a place of reference. But it was a really fun project. We've got ideas for a second one, actually a third one too, which we didn't talk about in the first
we didn't.
issue.
Yeah,
so here's new content.
This is
It's this concept of low ABV cocktails. So in a Negroni, there's typically gin, Campari, and vermouth. So keep your favorite gin and then sub out our Campari and our vermouth.
Yeah.
And so this concept of technically a bartender could serve a customer 3 or 4 drinks over the course of 2-3 hours.
And have that boom.
Right. They would still only be consuming what would be the equivalent of one classic cocktail. So that idea of low ABV is really interesting, and I think there's a place for that at a lot of bars because some people really love their gin. They don't want to be fully sober, but they want to like reduce. So that's an easy way that you can still partake, but at a much lower consumption level. So that's an idea for another book that I have.
Okay, no, that's cool. Like, but that's again, think outside the box, especially with the growing industry. You still want to enjoy some of that stuff, and some people, I'm a victim of it, that you have got your go-to thing, and you're like, I really don't want to give that up, and especially if there's not a non-alcoholic version of it, it's like because it's so good or whatever the case. But as we were trying earlier, all the different scotches and stuff like that, you can definitely get that same satisfaction without again having
jeopardizing or compromising.
like the sugars, and hangover.
Yeah, a lot of non-alcs are drastically less in sugar content and calorie content. So for people who are making health conscious decisions, that's another bonus for them. So first up, we're going to make an old fashioned. It's a stirred cocktail. We've got 2 of our whiskeys that we blend together. Sober is from France and Monday is from California. Both are great products on their own. Sober whiskey really has the aromas of a classic whiskey, which is a big part of like your sense of smell has a lot to do with how we taste and perceive food. So having that aroma was a nice touch when we found that one. And then this Monday whiskey has great coffee, mocha flavors, a bit of that pepper heat that we referenced earlier. So blending the 2, we find gives us a really nice outcome.
Yeah, and talking about it too is the sober one actually won gold for the non-spirit.
Yeah, in the International Alcohol-Free Awards.
Yeah.
I'm adding 1/4 ounce of Demerara syrup, which is like a simple syrup, but it uses a special kind of sugar. And then when I talk about key secret sauce ingredients, Liquid Gold is another shop up the street. They've got amazing flavor-infused balsamics and olive oil. So we use a lot of their flavored balsamics in our recipes because it adds a nice acidity that can sometimes be lacking from the spirits, but it also adds a really depth and deep layer of flavor. So this one is a hickory smoke infused dark balsamic. I'm going to add a 1/4 ounce of this.
I would have never thought of that. And I like going there and I buy a bunch of different ones, like the blueberry, the pomegranate, the like again, like you said, the bourbon one's already there. You just add it in. It can replicate some of that flavors.
Yeah, that was some orange bitters I threw in, and now I'm putting in a smoke and oak bitters. For anyone who's not familiar with bitters, they are bitter, like the name says, but they work to round out sweet ingredients to tone them down a little bit, but they also add more layers of complexity and flavor. And if you are familiar with bitters, you're probably thinking, how is this alcohol-free when he's using bitters? Because they are classically made with an alcohol base. But we're only using such a small amount that your drink is still going to be below a 0.5 ABV. We do have some water-based bitters. If someone was in recovery, I would be using those instead. Okay, ice. Do you want to grab me a big scoop of ice? Scoop of the other size would be great. If there's enough in there. Oh, I put it in here.
Yeah, we did. And you mentioned you guys are doing an event tonight?
Yes. Right in the glass there. It's called Imbibe. It's a cocktail festival. So I've got a team there. We have a booth. There's 20 different bars from around the city that are participating, and they all come prepared to make a signature cocktail for the event. So it's kind of fun to see non-alc that's merging with mainstream. We've done a few larger events this year. Of course, there's always some that turn their nose up because they're there to get drunk. But it was a surprising amount of people at cocktail festivals who didn't drink. So either they were the DD or they still wanted to just go out and partake with their friends. Yeah. So they were thrilled that there was a mocktail bar at these events. So they just kept coming back all night for what we were cooking up. Here I'm taking one of our large ice cubes for an old fashioned. I'm going to pop that in the glass. And then this is our branding iron that has our logo in it. So I'm going to emboss that S into the top of the ice cube. When we talk about mocktails and giving people that classic craft-built experience, we think through everything between what glass we choose, how we garnish it, how can we make this experience even more special for them and give them back every detail of what they used to have when they would go out for cocktails with friends.
The little things do matter, right?
Yes. I'm going to see if I can tip that towards the screen.
Yeah.
You might be able to see a little bit of the S in there. it's more impactful in real life. And then I'm just going to pour my old-fashioned right in around it. And then when we talk about subtleties too and how much it can impact the flavor of a drink, you want to take a nice healthy slice of orange rind, and then you want to squeeze that and get all the essential oils out onto the top of the surface of your drink, and then you can even go right around the rim. It really imparts a bright citrus flavor to the drink. And
yeah, well, we can cheers because
okay.
we already made one earlier here, so this is proof we did that. This is delicious.
Oh yeah, there's so much smoky flavor that comes out.
Yeah, and then the pepper.
Hot pepper bitters, yeah. On the back shelf, the pinky red color one. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, because this is actually pretty cool because it actually add that more kick overall.
This is a hot pepper bitters. It's not going to change the flavor, but it's going to add some heat to the finish. So when you sip and swallow, it's going to leave a little heat that lingers, again, to emulate that alcohol.
Yeah.
I put this in almost every drink that I make, just because I love the effect.
Yeah. No, but it is nice because it just hits nicely in the back of the throat.
Well, and it's also like when you think of mocktails, a lot of them, like, they can be easy to drink really fast.
Yeah.
And so how do you make how do you make a sipper? What do you put in it to force someone to slow down and take their time and savor the flavors? So hot pepper bitters is a great one for that.
Yeah, well, it's true, right? Because everyone almost thinks or whatnot, but again, looking at some stats online, it's 5.5 roughly % growth year over year
in this industry.
Just in the industry. And there, even restaurants, like you said, are now having a non-alcoholic selections.
Yeah.
To really cater to those people that are either being health conscious or in recovery or just want that social aspect and just be the best version of themselves, be healthier overall.
Yeah. We get a lot of customers that come into whose spouses have developed dementia or Alzheimer's or heart disease, liver disease. Then they just can't drink anymore, but they want something in their glass, that ritual at the end of the day. And so they've shifted to non-alc. So it's a fun journey for us to help them discover products that they love and can just...
And who knows, maybe it'd be a fun little kid time too, right?
Yeah.
Like
we get parents that bring kids in.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. We didn't talk about it in episode 1, but I was just thinking if all 0%, it'd be cool. Like with my daughters, that we could actually sit down and just have a fun evening making some of these drinks, and yeah, it'd be something different too, right?
We had a mom come in with 2 of her teenage daughters to sit at the bar last week because they wanted to know what cocktails tasted like. They'd never had alcohol before, and so that was a really fun for our bartender. She created some drinks and they ordered from the menu and they loved it. Yeah.
No, but again, like you said, because it's flavors, the depth of like it's definitely game changing.
Mm-hmm. And Canada is definitely a leader in the non-alc world as far as my research shows. I thought we might be lagging behind, but there's a lot of great RTDs, ready to drink canned options out there, and the spirits are starting to come along too. So it's great to see that, like, we're right up there on the cusp of the wave with the rest of the world. Okay, second drink, Coffee House Conspiracy. This one falls into the adaptogen category. So it has ingredients. This one is going to be like a social, so a little bit more of an upper. So there are different like reishi mushrooms and other like root ingredients that are known for like a cognitive boost. Not necessarily like a jolt of caffeine or a sugar rush, but just the things that stimulate your mind and for those social engagements. So this guy here, you're gonna put.
Right.
Actually, hang on, Print this out. Yeah, I think it was a full ounce of this guy.
Yeah, 1 ounce is 3/4, a half.
Yeah, good memory. So,
Thank you. I put it on the wrong side.
no, it's fine. Doesn't really matter.
Doesn't yeah, okay.
No.
I guess
It'll still taste the same, I promise.
Still tastes the same. All right.
Coffee liqueur. This guy comes out of Montreal. It's an amazing Canadian brand of spirits. They've got the largest portfolio of spirits.
3/4, correct?
3/4, yeah. They have a Campari option. They've got an Aperol option. They've got rum, 2 styles of gins. They've got an Amaro. They've got an Amaretto, which was going to rival, in my opinion, any Amaretto at the NSLC. It is incredible.
Really?
Yeah. So when you've got that many ingredients, you can really start creating some fun drinks. That guy was a half ounce of him. Oh, we need our shot.
Quartered.
Yep. Where am I at? No, half ounce of the orgeat.
Okay.
And then it's going to be a 1/4 ounce of this guy here.
And then the cherries. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, and then the bottle of cherries, I've got it out here already. You can take a 1/4 ounce of the juice from that. So these are our house-made cocktail cherries. We made them with vanilla, whiskey, some orange rind, some cloves, a bunch of different mulling spices. They're pretty delicious. Oh, you need to try the one on your last drink. The alcohol has burned off because it's been on the stove long enough, so there is no alcohol content in.
Roughly how long does that take?
By the time it's all said and done, because it's sorry, I shouldn't say that there's no alcohol. I haven't tested it, but all said and done, it's probably been on a temperature high enough to evaporate for probably 45 minutes. And so the amount of steam I'm seeing come out of there, I can't imagine that there's a whole lot left. But I should actually have it tested one day, so I know. I don't sell it to people who are in recovery.
Perfect.
So 3 dashes of the coffee and cherry bitters. These are alcohol-free bitters. We talked about earlier them being an alcohol base, but these ones are water-based. Fee Brothers, that's their aromatic. It's out of the U.S.
Perfect.
And I think that's it. Ice.
And it's such a great selection here too. And like on the other side, you guys can't see, but it's got a lot of the wines, the beers, some ready to serve wine, ready to drink, I should say.
Yep. And then you can give that a pound on the top.
Yep. Technical difficulties here.
How'd you get it?
Nope.
Take it in your. Take it. So if the top part is probably connecting somewhere around there, try and slam it in the palm of your fist, and it'll help break that seal. Yeah, that sounded like it. There you go.
There we go. Look at that.
Hawthorne strainer.
Perfect. Look at that.
Beauty. We're going to garnish with a cherry and a dehydrated orange slice.
Perfect. There we go. So that one's for you, because like you said, we've already...
Okay, yeah, so now I'll test your skills. I know how these are supposed to taste.
Yeah, let's see.
Bang on.
Perfect. No, excellent. Yeah. Perfect. So
I'm trying to remember what else we covered.
Well, we covered lots of things, but no, it's good. Again, the industry's growing. You're the first of the kind here in Halifax, which is amazing. Like I said, you started off with the clothing. You adapted because of the COVID and the changes. You've seen a market that wasn't touched in Nova Scotia. Now it's growing. So being the leader is fantastic. Word's getting out there. Again, it's been one of a kind, and learning how to do these different things. I've never thought about putting balsamic vinegar in a drink. And like I said, I was one that would just buy one and just I was like, not the same, and just really didn't go back. But not knowing that there's a whole different layer of bitters and this and that. And like you said, just because it's a rum, saying it's a dark rum, there's 6 different versions. Because you said when you make these drinks up, if you substitute it out with one, it's in there for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. The non-alc products can vary so much in flavor, and you can't just sub out a gin for another gin because it'll change the whole flavor profile of the drink. So our drinks have been built around those specific ones. Yes.
Yeah.
We do offer workshops where you can learn to make mocktails using our ingredients, using our recipes. So that's kind of fun because people often, especially if they're just venturing into this non-alc world, they don't know where to begin. Yeah. They don't even know how to imagine what to put together in a glass to make a drink. So it's fun for them to come learn some bartending skills, but also get to taste a bunch of products and how they work together. And then that helps give them a little bit more knowledge to go out and create on their own.
Oh, perfect. Again, thank you so much for inviting me down.
Yeah.
We covered everything.
Thank you for having me.
It's been unreal. And Devin, technical difficulties the first time, so thank you. So we get to do this twice. All right. Everyone out there, thank you for following, sharing, and supporting the cause. Thank you.
Only Dad's Network. Only Dad's Network. Pull up a chair and give us a listen. Dads helping dads. Only Dad's Network.
Hey, we're back. How you doing?
We're back. Pretty good. A little bit reversed from what we're used to because we actually taped the podcast earlier, and now we're doing the little segment beforehand. So
debrief.
Wish you could have been with me. So welcome to the latest episode of Only Dad's Network 33. So ODN 33. I had the great pleasure of meeting Jay, the owner of Soberish Mocktail shop on Agricola Street here in Halifax, which we did bring up in an earlier podcast when we're talking to Jen there about the growing trend of these non-alcoholic beverages and in the market and in Canada, worldwide pretty much. So it's the hottest, one of the hottest trends besides my kids wanting some of those little squishy things.
Those squishy things. I had to get some of those in spring break.
I still don't like the Dodos or the Nitos or something like that.
Nitos, same thing,
The Nitos, because it went from a different squishy to a different. Oh, come on! So, but this isn't squishy. We went down there. Well, I went down there. Had the pleasure of doing 2 episodes because the first one I had technical difficulties because you weren't there, and it's not and it's not because I was drinking, because we were just doing straight up mocktails, right?
There you go.
So it was a lot of fun to really deep dive into this growing trend that's definitely becoming taking over the bar industry overall. I think you were doing some reading on some of the stats and stuff today.
I was just briefly looking it up because we had talked about it a bit before, but it says the global non-alcoholic drink market is experiencing massive growth with combined worldwide revenue projected to reach 1.55 trillion worldwide in 2026. So it's obviously a growing industry.
I'll take 1%. not greedy, right? So and again, talking here with the Only Dad's Network, we're always talking about being the best version of yourself, and what does that include, right? Because I know a lot of people have been tuning in, they've been talking to me, and they're like, so right up. They straight up asked me one time, "So are you going to stop drinking this and that?" No, no. I'm working to become the best version of myself for my
Right.
friends, family, work, and loved ones around me. So when I was down there talking to Jay, he said one of the things that's going to be popping up here is going to be almost like a blend. So when
Right.
you start getting some of these mixed drinks, you do a non-alcoholic type of gin, put in it, and you're using some of the other ones with alcohol, which sort of balances out. So you actually have 3 or 4 of them, which would equate to having just one cocktail over the course of the night, right? So then you can become that social aspect of enjoying the evening with your friends and not have to really drink all the hard liquor, because we had some great alternatives overall. I can't wait for you to try some of them. So, do we have a little friend there?
Amber's coming to say hi. You want to come say hi? You're gonna say come say hi. Come to
Hi.
there.
Are you gonna go biking?
She's out scootering, right? You're on a scooter.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could try a bike.
Go for it.
All
I
right.
don't know where mine is.
I'll have to go grab it. Can you give me a minute?
Yeah, we're almost done here with your daddy here, but this is awesome. Like this
Holy
is what
dads.
dads.
No, this is the real deal. They're outside
the-
playing.
This is the real deal. And again, because of time zones and your busy schedule up there with the kids and everything, and here you missed out on
Yeah,
watching me make drinks. And
you've been there anyway. You know, I'm on the west coast, northwest territories right now, and you're in Halifax, so couldn't have been there anyway. I had to work during the day. But yeah, it sounded really interesting, and yeah, I'm really cool to see that this type of thing is kind of popping up more around Canada, right? Because I had done a little research, like I mentioned, and it says the U.S. is like #1 with the revenue right now for non-alcoholic drinks, and then it's Vietnam, Australia, United Kingdom, India. So Canada maybe in the top 10 or the top 15, but not the top 5 yet. So
yeah, and because again, talking, you'll learn a little bit more when you actually put together the video. There is at some of these cocktail events is now they're actually having some mocktail places come up for those people that are joining loved ones or friends that don't want to overindulge in the drinks but still experience a really good thing, because there's all these different adaptations that you can actually do. And like I came home, I told my dad, I was like, that faux fashion was unreal.
That's cool.
Yeah. So definitely
what's the name of the mocktail bar again?
Soberish Mocktail Shoppe. It's on Agricola, and they that's the only mocktail bar in Eastern Canada.
There you go.
But they do sell non-alcoholic products there, and their shop in Chester. And I know there's other stores that have been definitely picking up the interest in selling and stuff. But he invited us down for an amazing time out to do stuff. And
are they kid friendly? If you want to bring
yes. And it would be a fun, like everyone's trying to think about what can you sort of do as like a family fun night. You can almost bring this into card night. You can pick up a couple of non-alcoholics flavors that you like, the drinks, and then some of the bitters. There's water-based ones. There are some alcohol ones which are 0.5, but you get the water-based ones with the 0 proof, and have a fun night with the kids, and just have a different experience, because everyone's trying to find some of those fun things to do, right? And who knows? Maybe this is a way for parents to start introducing different flavors to kids, and maybe if we start bringing it at a younger age, it becomes the not so cool thing when you're 16 sneaking into your parents' cabinet, or whatnot, right? So it's a very healthy, lots of like natural stuff that you would buy from the store. So
we got a mutual friend too, James, who I thought of, who works for Partakes. We should get him on in a future episode, maybe talk about non-alcoholic beer and his kind of take on the industry as well, right? So just someone that came to mind when I realized you went down and did this at the mocktail bar in Halifax. So an old friend of ours he's been involved in brewing beer itself, like in a brewcade that he owned, but he's also works for a non-alcoholic beer company. So it'd be really interesting to hear his take on kind of the industry too.
Well, like you mentioned offline there, 75% of the non-alcoholic is
Is the non-alcoholic beer.
is beer, right?
Yeah. So it's the big part of the global market right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So James, we give you a little shout out there. So hopefully we'll see you soon. I know Dev, you got to get out there. Hopefully you're wearing a helmet too.
Yes, we're trying to enjoy the warm weather. It's warming up here. It's above zero. So
perfect.
The snow is melting finally now that it's April 29th. And so we expect that the ice roads will melt here pretty soon. And then people can start boating and stuff instead. So yeah, big change, the daylight and how much warm it is here for sure.
No, for sure. And big day coming up tomorrow. Actually happens just after 3 o'clock this morning or tomorrow morning. Is I officially will have a 12-year-old.
Amazing.
Oh.
Happy birthday.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to like rewind the clock. It's like you can't take the speedometer back on kids, right?
No. It goes by quick for sure.
Yeah, it goes by quick, right? So I remember like when I was while she was born, because I went to the Moosehead game. They got knocked out of the playoffs that night and came home, and then we went to the hospital.
There you go. So, yeah, me and Charlotte were out for dinner celebrating my birthday when she went into labor with Violet. She was born on the 30th. I'm born on the 29th, and then Aurora's born on the 28th. So we're all connected there with the 3 days for birthdays there. So Emmy's the original, being born in August. So everybody else in November. Yeah. So
everyone's like, she must feel pretty special then, because
it's her own thing.
Yeah. Exactly. So won't keep you too long. But yeah, so check out the our fun experience tonight, and hopefully we can edit me trying to get the shit because that was pretty awkward.
Actually seeing the video from the mocktail bar. I'm sure it's pretty cool. He shows you how to make some drinks.
Oh yeah,
it's fun, right? So it's cool.
So, but perfect. All right, thank you. And we'll talk soon.
All right, we'll be back with code 33 real soon.
That's right.
Mike and Devin with Only Dads Network. Check out the website.
Cheers.
OnlyDadsNetwork.ca. See ya.
Bye.